You guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's do this. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of The Local Lens, Lawrenceville Unfiltered. My name is Louie Campbell, and you, sir?
Dwayne Volkman.
And you, sir?
Keith Bellinger.
It's the only time I'm probably going to call you sir.
Yeah, right.
Keith is my cousin.
Yeah.
So, all right. So the purpose of this episode is, of course, we've been wanting to talk to Keith on the podcast, but also we thought what a great time to have him on to do a recap of the most recent City Council meeting of the City of Lawrenceville that took place on Monday, March 16th. This was an interesting meeting. So, first of all, start every meeting with our prayer and pledge of allegiance. I noticed during the prayer that they always asked for us to keep open minds and to help represent the citizens of the city of Lawrenceville. And I'm going to let you speak on that here in a little bit. Okay. For those who don't know, you are a minister.
Yes.
And you preach at a church here in town. What's the name of the church?
Amazing Grace.
Amazing Grace. And that's on the corner of 15th and Olive?
Yeah, but we just call it South 15th Street, down the hill. Mm-hmm. But
okay, it's right around the corner from my house, so really I have no excuse to not go see him preach.
That is true.
But after seeing you speak at the city council meeting, I was telling him before you got here, after the first 30 seconds to a minute of him speaking, I was like, I gotta go see him preach.
Yeah.
I bet he's amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to try to get over.
You won't sleep.
I rarely do anyway.
Okay. Well.
So
I thought he was going to go into the sermon the other day.
yeah,
That was great.
I thought he did a great job. So anyway, the recognition of visitors, they acknowledge the people who want to address this, the city council. The list of people that we're going to go through that did speak are Doug Bowman, Gail Bowman, Kelsey Mikowitz, Mitch Mikowitz, Tara Davis, Scott Durant, myself, Louie Campbell, you, Keith Bellinger, and a gentleman by the name of Stephen Johns. So during the portion of the meeting where they accept the minutes of the regular council meeting from the prior month, Dwayne, you brought up a concern about was it the December minutes?
Yeah. It was in regards to a question I'd asked Aaron Tipsard during an interaction we had during that meeting where I asked when he had requested additional help for his department. Mm-hmm. And didn't get a straight answer. The only answer we did get for sure was that he had asked a few weeks ago, maybe a few months ago. Maybe it was in August that he had asked. Do you recall?
Well, the first mention in any public documents since his tenure as the superintendent of utilities where he had discussed, him or anyone had discussed staffing at his departments was August 13th, 2025.
Okay, so it's been a few months before the meeting. But I just wanted to find out, because the mayor and other people were indicating that some of the reasons for the issues at the plant were because of short staffing.
Yeah, sure.
And I wanted to find out from, straight from him. And he did. Bottom line is, he did not say definitively that he had asked prior to that, to the date that you just mentioned. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, one of his, at the end of the conversation, he said, if I want to discuss any further, we can go into executive session. But,
yeah, exactly.
So he doesn't understand. Maybe he does understand. I don't know, but he doesn't get to call those meetings. But I wanted it on record that he did not request help in the distant past. And mm-hmm. These issues go back quite some time. Mm-hmm. And the record, the December meetings record does not indicate that, and I want it to be corrected.
I remember
this is the third time I've asked.
You've requested the change in the January meeting, the February meeting, and now the March meeting.
Yes.
And it remains to be seen if that change is actually going to be made. Right. Each time the mayor and Rodney had indicated that it will be changed, so hopefully it will be. Yeah. Next on the agenda was the bills of the city, sewer, and water departments, which the council had voted to approve. The treasurer report. John White, our city treasurer, got up and spoke, mm-hmm. and during his speech, he was talking about staggering the maturity dates of our CDs so that they are more readily available without withdrawing them with penalties. I think that's a great idea. I'm not sure why it hasn't been done in the past, but wonderful idea. John White is seems like a really nice guy.
He
and
does,
He's got a lot of integrity.
He does. He does.
I really like him. Intelligent man too.
But according to Kemper, when they came several months ago, we can still use money out of the general fund or whatever fund that we need to use money from, and if that money needs to be replaced by money in a CD, we can do that at a later date. So while that's a great idea to look into, and many times you get better rates on shorter terms, but after that term's up, that rate may drop dramatically, depending on what the market's doing. So it's something to look into. I don't know if it's something that we should just jump right into without.
Oh no,
but I'm confident he'll do the some due diligence.
Yeah.
I'm confident he'll do the research.
Yeah,
but it is
absolutely.
a good idea. But the point I'm making is, even if we need money out of that CD, we wouldn't necessarily have to cash it out and incur a penalty.
True. According to what
we could use money from other funds and replace it later.
is Mr. Benson, is that his name?
Yeah.
From Kemper, he did indicate that was the case, that we could do that. And I trust what he said, that we can do that. So another thing that he brought up, that Mr. White brought up during his treasurer's report, was that he had received information from United States Senator Tammy Duckworth's office, from a representative in her office by the name of Katie Keller, about funding available to help pay for either some or all of the purchase of a vacuum and jetter truck that the city is intending to purchase.
Right.
And I thought it was important that you pointed out that he had that contact information because of our efforts reaching out to, and by our, I don't just mean me and you, but I'm talking about me, you, Keith, several other members of our super secret meeting society.
Yes.
that has our super secret meetings. Those super secret meetings of the Super Secret Meeting Society occur at 5 p.m. on Sunday evenings at your home,
Right.
Currently, until we outgrow your home, which we're about there, So just to keep that completely under wraps so nobody knows about when or where those meetings occur. They're super secret.
We will have to edit that out.
We have a lot of fun with the super secret meetings.
Yes, we do.
But it was through the efforts of the group that gathers that we were put in contact with Senator Duckworth's office and got access to this information.
Actually, a member of the group initiated that and set up that meeting.
Yes, it was. Yep.
And then we were invited to it.
Yep. And it was a great meeting with, was it 5 or 6 members of Senator Duckworth's staff that we met with?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
So hopefully that grant money is applied for and we receive that. I know it has a very short window for us to apply for it, but that would help the city of Lawrenceville. The city of Lawrenceville needs funding,
Right.
We clearly need access to funding to help us fix the
And
issues.
to clarify some of the conversation I had at that point in the meeting, Mr. White indicated that he thought that the application paperwork that he received
Was easy.
Yeah, seemed pretty easy.
But he
and I
did-
was just making. Go ahead.
But he did say it might take 12 to 15 months to
receive
it,
the money,
right.
yes. Yeah.
But the point I was making, if there was any confusion from after watching the meeting itself, was that yes, we do have a group that writes grants for us, Greater Wabash, I believe. But they get a percentage of these grants. So if he's willing to do the work, we could save significant money by letting him do it. And if he's confident,
And he said he would.
yeah, he said he would, but there were other members of the council that felt like we should. I got the feeling that they felt like we should turn that over to Greater Wabash, and my point was let's at least look into it, see if we can do it.
Give it-
Absolutely.
give it a
That
chance.
could amount to tens of thousands of dollars.
Well, I'm all for doing due diligence and doing
But let me
things
clarify:
properly.
the tens of thousands would be what we'd be paying them, not the grant itself.
Yeah.
What we'd be paying Greater Wabash. I
Correct.
just want to clarify that. So,
And these members of the council that do want to take things slow and do things proper and right, I'm all for doing things proper and correctly and right. But sometimes dragging your feet causes us to cost us and missed opportunities.
yeah.
To lose money,
And this seemed like a pretty simple decision to make. And we can't wait till the next council meeting to decide because the window will close later this month.
Right.
Actually, the window of that will close in 8 days, as I understand
I was gonna say,
March 26th, if I recall.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
hopefully they'll figure that out.
So, under new business, the first thing on the agenda was Lawrence County Memorial Hospital. The CEO, Amy Hurley, she gave a a presentation about the air evac life team. The hospital has entered into an agreement to save Lawrence County residents who have an accident or medical need that originates within the boundaries of Lawrence County and need air ambulance services to save them money. She actually had a member of her staff provide a press release to me today, and I published that on the Lawrence County Alumni News page
cool.
as well. So
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea. I reached out to her to encourage her to have that press release sent because I think it's a great program and it can help people.
And she also
So-
said that it's up to the patient. I mean, they don't have to be forced to do so.
Correct.
It's their decision.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Patient,
I thought was good.
Patient and care provider make decisions. Yeah, absolutely. So I think it's a great thing. Next up was a Ward 1 vacancy consideration. A lot of people who watch the podcast will remember Kelly Lewis, who sat right here where you're sitting, Keith. She had resigned at the December 11th council meeting.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of mix-up at a special meeting February 4th to try to appoint someone. That got sorted out, and at this meeting, the mayor put forth a name for his candidate for the council. The individual's name, he goes by Bob.
Yeah, Bob.
But it was James Robert Hedge, I believe is his name. Bob Hedge. Had a great short conversation with him after the meeting. Shook his hand and told him that I look forward to working with him. He seemed very open.
He did. He said, "I want to learn."
Yes, I love that.
I want to learn. Yeah.
I know that you were the only dissenting vote that voted against him being seated, and that had, as you stated, it had nothing to do with him as an individual.
Right.
Only that the mayor was not putting forth what we feel and what you feel, because it was your vote, was the most qualified person for what we're currently facing in our city.
Yeah, you could put it that way. Qualified. I would add someone that we needed. We were in dire need of their expertise at this time, which is someone that has vast knowledge of running wastewater treatment plants. He runs them right now in Indiana.
And Bob's a good guy. Bob's a good guy, but he doesn't have that.
He doesn't have, yeah. So, and I talked to Bob afterwards, and he understood that. I mean, he said, I can understand why you do that. He said, I knew it wasn't personal. I've employed Bob before, and we had a great relationship.
He seemed like a nice guy.
So, yeah, there was nothing wrong there. But I feel like, and this is just my own thought. I have no other authority to base this thought on other than common sense.
Yeah.
I felt like appointing someone like Matt Bruff to the council might just go a long way with the EPA themselves.
I agree. Matt Bruff, he has 23 years in wastewater experience. He currently holds an Illinois Class 2 wastewater certification, and he's applied for the test, which he should easily pass for the Class 1. He has the requisite experience.
I just felt like the EPA would look at that and say, hey, you guys are, you're serious about trying to fix some of these problems.
Absolutely. And since the city is facing some serious penalties possibly, for people who don't know, our most recent wastewater notice of violations, which was issued in November, we tried to enter into what's called a CCA. It's a compliance commitment agreement with the EPA, basically saying, I promise I won't do it again. I promise I'll do everything right going forward.
And here is what we'll do to fix it. Yeah.
But they said...
Yeah, they declined to enter into that CCA with the city of Lawrenceville, instead chose to refer it to prosecutorial authorities, being the Illinois Attorney General's office and the state's attorney's office. And
in fact, someone today texted me and said, I think we should do the Attorney General. I said, that's already been done.
Yeah.
It's in the process.
Yeah,
It's in the process.
There is a step before that,
right,
where an attorney does some additional investigative work, and then they determine whether it goes to those officials, I believe, is what was explained to me today by that attorney.
if it's worthy to go there, right? Yeah.
So, anyway, sewer vacancy consideration, we did, the council did vote, and it was, 6-1 to seat Mr. Hedge.
Yep.
And he was seated and sworn in that evening. Again, seems like a nice guy. I look forward to working with him. Hopefully, at some point, after he has a little experience on the council, we can invite him on to speak with us here on the podcast.
Yeah.
He might be the only other one to
Yeah.
accept the invitation.
Right. He may. The next was sewer rate discussion. This is an unpopular thing, but
It is unpopular.
it's unpopular, and I understand why it's unpopular because people's bills are going to go up.
Nobody wants that,
The
right?
council hasn't decided how they're going to apply the sewer rate increases yet, but it is necessary that it's going to happen because we have to build a new sewer plant, wastewater treatment plant, and we have to have access to federal and state grants and loans to do that, and we qualify for none of that unless our sewer rates are enough
To cover.
to cover the cost
Right.
of
Yeah.
everything.
And they're not.
Of managing, yeah, and they're currently not. As I recall, that it's been since 2006 or 2007 since the last time they had a sewer rate increase.
Whoa, that's a long
It's been a
time.
while. I have
It's
to
been a
look
while.
back, Yeah.
Yeah, so
20 years.
while I hate the idea, I do understand the rationale behind it.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I'm not,
So-
not opposed to that. You can't be. It has
Yeah,
to be
it's an unfortunate necessity. It's a necessary evil.
Yeah.
So, water for resale rate discussion. So, I guess the city currently sells potable water to Petrolia,
Yes.
Yeah.
and Petrolia's contract is coming up with us.
Well, actually, 2025, he said it's up. But
Okay,
they're still doing.
so we've just extended that until we negotiate a new contract. Okay, I thought that was the case, but I wasn't sure.
Yep.
So they're going to have, was it the finance committee, and look into exploring rates and a rate structure for negotiating
Right.
that.
There's a discussion as to whether or not to have a study done.
Yeah, the study was going to cost $10,000-$20,000. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not worth that in my opinion. I
Yeah.
think the mayor made the right call on that, and
I
the rest of
agree.
the council did.
Yeah.
For
I
us
just want to point
study
out.
ourselves.
I just want to point out. And I'm sorry to interrupt you. We just said the mayor did the right thing.
Yep.
We do that.
Yes.
We don't just complain. We do
No.
congratulate the council and the mayor for doing things that are good. And yeah, he did make the right decision in that. I agree with you. So anyway, moving on to the next thing, citywide cleanup discussion. This is something that you asked to be put on the agenda. I've been speaking to a lot of citizens in and around Lawrenceville who want citywide cleanup. I understand last year was it was a mess. We hadn't had citywide cleanup for a few years. People had accumulated a lot of junk.
Yeah.
And there was the messaging was bad. Actually, that was the phrase you used. The messaging wasn't done effectively to educate the public on when their neighborhood would be picked up, and the fact that we will not come back after that date and pick up. People were expecting us, the city, to continue to do so.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, what things the trash company will pick up and what they won't.
Right.
And things such as simple as, like, if you're going to put out a mattress, which is completely fine,
Needs to be wrapped.
must be wrapped.
Right, yeah.
And those things weren't communicated
But
to...
Republic did pretty good, though.
Yeah, they did a good job. They worked their tails off picking everything up.
Yeah, it wasn't. The mix-up last year wasn't solely their fault.
Was it 100 tons that I heard they said they picked up?
That's what the mayor said. Yeah,
Yeah, 100 tons of stuff. That's a lot.
There was
is,
just
so-
inaccurate information
Yeah.
posted on the city's website, from what I recall.
Yeah, and a lot of that could have been the fact that, the city got out of practice, so to speak,
Right.
because they hadn't done it for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
so-
just mentioning that wasn't just that Republic had done anything wrong.
Oh, no, I don't
Wasn't
know. They didn't do anything
It's a
wrong.
combination of
Yeah,
different issues.
So it looks like most of the council seems to be on board with the idea of doing it. They just need to discuss what it's going to cost us as a city, and the messaging and the rules and regs for doing it, so that
they
it's-
understand, yeah.
Yeah, so it's more of an orderly process this time.
Right.
So I think the members of the council, they're going to support this. I know it's a very popular thing. When I ran for city council, I went door to door, as you know, and I spoke to a lot of people in my ward, and I never heard a single person say anything negative about citywide cleanup. Anyone who, when I said I'm going to vote to bring back citywide cleanup, their eyes lit up. Oh my gosh, I'll vote for you. Clearly, not all of them did.
Yeah, clearly, yeah.
I lost.
Yeah.
But, or maybe they didn't vote at all. I don't know.
Yeah.
So the next thing was the executive session to discuss possible contract. Dwayne, I'm going to need you to spill your guts. Tell us everything
I
that
was going
happened.
to say, here's what happened in the executive session.
This is what happened, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can't talk about what happened in executive session.
No.
The city council is required by state law to review their notes for what happened in that executive session. Was it every 6 months?
Right, but we don't do that.
Yeah, well, they
And
should.
I brought that up before.
You have, yeah.
It had been years since we had done it. When I brought it up last year, I think they reviewed some then. I don't think it's been done since. If it has been done, I'm not aware of it.
Yeah. So it'll be a while before the information from that executive session will be released to the public.
But it will be released, though, right?
Not necessarily.
Possibly,
Oh, no.
not always.
They don't have to.
They don't have to.
Okay.
No, they vote on that. So, but anyway, on to the next old business, the vacuum and jetter truck discussion. Some questions were raised by you, Dwayne, about the previous truck called the Myers truck. As it's been reported to both of us by multiple people, that truck was allowed to go without proper maintenance.
Right.
It was allowed to sit outside in the freezing cold weather with water in the truck, which
Because
led
they
to-
said there was no building that they had that would be heated to do so.
Yeah.
Right,
but that's-
still, there's got to be a way to winterize something like that, and I'm just surprised that it wasn't winterized. Apparently,
Well,
No,
they
no, it
renovarized
wasn't.
campers.
But-
They renovarized campers. I would think they could do to the.
yeah,
according to public records,
that's true.
that truck.
Yeah,
I FOIA requested public records of all maintenance records, including winterization, oil changes, everything on that truck dating back to August 1st, 2018. There's a reason I chose that day. I'll be honest. Aaron Tipsworth took over as the superintendent of that department
right,
the middle of that month.
right.
And he has been that superintendent since then. So I just wanted to find out if he's properly maintaining the equipment that is under his charge. No responsive records. There are no records of any maintenance whatsoever done on that truck
Right,
in those 7.5 years.
right.
And how long do you go between oil changes on your vehicle?
Me?
Yeah.
About 3,000 to 4,000.
3,000 or 4,000 miles?
I do, yeah.
But not 7.5 years?
Not 7.5 years. No.
Okay.
It would be like sludge.
There would be a problem there. So
You would think there'd be some sort of record, but people are coming to me and asking me to look into this, so that's why I ask questions.
Do they have to have the report? Does he have to show it?
it's entirely possible that a member of his staff or himself crawled into that truck and did the oil change on his truck. Maybe that happened.
Well,
and if
then
so,
that brings up another.
come forward and tell us.
Okay, well, if they did, where did they document it so they would know when to do it the next time?
Valid point.
So,
That's why you have that thing on the
Yeah.
windshield to
And-
tell you when to do it the next time.
and
right?
where are the
On an oil change.
records for the oil and filter and supplies?
yeah.
And
So we're not. I'm
so-
not suggesting they didn't change the oil. What I am suggesting is proper records aren't.
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting it's a
Yeah.
fact. Proper
Yeah,
records
right.
weren't kept. Which the bigger issue, not just the oil, changing oil and things like that, is I wanted to get at the. I wanted to find out if one of the reasons that it doesn't function like it should is because it was left in cold weather, freezing weather with water in it.
With
And
water
we all
in it.
know what that will do.
Yeah.
And I did find out that has happened.
They said they couldn't take all the water out. I don't know
Yeah.
what that means, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't. The gentleman that spoke, nothing against him.
no.
Maybe he's just not aware of the procedure to winterize it. I don't know, but I will say this: the department head should have been there to speak on the subject.
Yes,
But he wasn't.
he was not.
But he wasn't there. That would be Mr. Tipson.
The only department head who was present at the meeting was Chief of Police Jim White.
Right.
And Chief of Police Jim White acts as Sergeant at Arms for the City Council meeting. So it's kind of a requirement for him or a representative of his department to be present.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I believe that the rest of the council as a whole, as we saw in the meeting, I don't think that they believe that department heads should be there. I don't know that I'm totally on board with.
Unless it
I'm not on
pertains.
board with their.
Unless it pertains to them, is what they said, right? If it pertains to
If
them,
there's a specific issue.
Right.
But we've had department heads not been there since I've been council member of some
Yeah,
departments. I can't believe that that there wasn't an incident where they needed to be there. They should be available in case we have questions.
Yeah, and I've explained, I've shared my thoughts with you on it, and my thought is that the council is only as good as the information that they have available to them. And my personal belief is that the department heads should be required to attend the meetings and required to give a comprehensive report of their department for what they've done over the last month and what they plan to do in the coming month. And so that the council has information about the status of the city so they can make effective decisions and not just vote, with, oh, this guy voted yes, so I'm going to vote yes. Or the mayor wants me to do this, so I'm going to vote this way. I'm not saying that's exactly how they all vote, but I think that some of them do. So yeah, I think the department head should be it should be mandatory attendance at the meetings, and they should give a comprehensive report of their department. We should pay them for attending the meetings, so it's not like they're not going to be compensated.
Right. It's only once a month.
Once a month,
And I think they should want to go to prove. Meaning to show, hey, this is what we're doing. Now, if they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, they might not want to. But if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, they might want to even brag. Like, hey, this is what we're doing. Isn't that cool? And give the report. But
absolutely. Right. Yeah, and if you're doing a good job in your department and you can get up and you can speak to that.
I want people to know.
And I'm recording the meetings and posting it to YouTube for the entire world to see. Everybody's going to start eventually clamoring for you to get a raise.
So, yes, there you go. It'll help themselves.
Yeah, maybe not. But, but still, I think it should be done because it's responsible governance. And did you know that we have an institution in this country that is specifically for the purpose of those who vote to govern our country to have information?
Yes.
It is the Library of Congress.
Yes.
That is the only reason it exists, so that members of Congress have access to information so they can vote correctly.
Yep.
You see these Senate and congressional hearings on television. The reason they have those is so they can gather information. Well, the reason they're supposed to have them is so they can gather information to make informed votes. I think a lot of times these days they use it so they can get that 15 seconds of 15 minutes of fame, get those television quotes for their political aspirations.
Yes.
But and some of them are quite good. Some of them not so much. But next was public comments. And we'll just go down the list here, and we'll touch briefly on what each person spoke about. We had Doug Bowman get up and speak. Doug, you probably didn't hear this, as the mayor's sister stated while Doug was speaking, he doesn't even live inside the city.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to live inside the city to speak at the council meeting.
I don't live inside the city.
Oh, gosh. Well, don't let her know that.
Yeah, don't let her know that, yeah.
So...
I work in the city, I preach in the city, but I don't live inside the city.
If you've purchased a candy bar in this city, you have contributed to its tax base.
There you go.
And you deserve to speak about how your money is spent.
Yes.
Period. And you just have to have a voice. That's it. That's the only thing you need.
Right. I wonder if she feels that way about an extended member of her family that has spoken at the meeting.
Former Chief of Police David White.
Yeah. And
he doesn't live inside the city limits.
He doesn't live inside city limits, and I didn't have a problem with him speaking. I can't have a problem with him speaking. It's his right. But I just wonder if she feels the same way about him as she did about Doug.
I doubt it.
I doubt it as well.
And Doug, honestly, was much nicer to everyone when he spoke than Mr. White was. Nothing against Mr. White. I've liked him for a long time. I interact with him every time I see him.
Yeah, but and I do now too.
Doug is if you don't know Doug Bowman, the way I describe him and his family to anyone who doesn't know him is these people are salt of the earth. They are some of the most kind individuals. Their faith is central to everything they do.
Yep.
They are good people. They are the definite. If you look up good man in the dictionary, I would not be shocked to see a picture of Doug Bowman or a male member of his family.
Or at least related to Billy Graham.
And the same goes for Gail Bowman, except a good woman in the dictionary.
Right.
But Doug got up to speak about his daughter and son-in-law. Scott and Hannah Durant had tens of thousands of dollars worth of damage to their home. due to what we believe, based upon public available documents and videos, was negligence by the city.
Right.
As a matter of fact, the EPA has stated that the city was not adhering to their CMOM plan, which is their maintenance plan for our sewer lines in that neighborhood, which led to a severe surcharge of water and raw sewage into their basement, 2.5 feet.
And it was a livable basement.
It was a finished basement.
Full of finished basement.
It was
They
a finished
homeschooled-
basement.
It was.
It was their school.
Yeah,
was
that
their
was,
school, yeah.
that was their school. Yeah, they
Yeah.
homeschooled their children there. So, anyway, Doug got up to speak on behalf of his daughter and son-in-law, and also to condemn the messages that we recently revealed to the public that Victor Fritsch had made. He had called them and other residents who have initiated legal proceedings against the city, not a lawsuit yet, but legal proceedings against the city, called them crybabies who are trying to defraud the city.
Yep.
And that he made a statement that over problems that we have proven that they caused themselves. And
Which is a lie.
every point in his text message was false.
False. It was
Right, and he was given an opportunity to respond to all of them, and he had no response.
He made in my opinion, a less than full-hearted apology.
Sorry.
He just goes,
Right,
sorry.
to the crybaby comment.
Yeah.
That's as far as he got.
But not to the
But
person he should have said it to. Should have said it to his kids.
Right.
I think he
Right.
gestured in their direction.
Okay.
So.
Right, but the point I'm making is he didn't answer to any of the other things. Take the apology away from it for a second. He didn't answer to any of the other accusations that they're trying to defraud, and that there was proof that they caused the problem themselves. When I said he was given the opportunity to respond, that's what I was talking about. He had no response for that because there is none.
And Doug made another
No,
very
there
good
isn't.
point. He mentioned that had these statements been made in a public forum instead of in what was originally a private text message,
Defamation of character.
their defamation of character, which is legally actionable, and they could have sued him for that.
From the reaction, it didn't seem like they really cared.
No. And toward the end of his 5-minute speech, he did ask, as I recall, he asked Mr. Fritsch to step down and resign.
Yes, he did.
So, and I got to tell you, for Doug Bowman to get to the point of asking Mr. Fritsch to resign,
It's got to be pretty bad for you.
That's bad.
Someone-
Some of the nicest people you'll ever meet
most other
would
people,
ask you to do that.
yeah, for him to get to the point of asking for Fritsch's resignation, any other person standing there would have been screaming
Yeah.
and losing their cool.
But he was very calm.
Very calm, very collected, very polite, but direct. Next up was Gail Bowman, Doug's wife, and she is the mother of Hannah Durant and mother-in-law of Scott Durant. And she spoke passionately about the breakdown in decorum with our city, the loss of trust in our sewer and water superintendent. She, and again paraphrasing, she was appalled at the idea that the mayor and members of the council, I know excluding yourself, and maybe others, I don't know, but plan to keep Mr. Tipsort on in charge of our drinking water.
I know, yeah.
Because as we have revealed, and the mayor confirmed on video, Mr. Tipsort is facing, and it's not a suspension of his wastewater certification, it is a revocation of his wastewater certification for 3 years by the Illinois EPA.
3 years, yeah.
Yeah. And I also have documents that show that the reason he's facing this, I have a copy of the complaint filed by the EPA with the court. The reason is for gross negligence. And again, I'm trying to do this from memory. Gross negligence, I can't remember the other word they used.
I don't know that I've seen that, so I couldn't help you on that.
So anyway, gross negligence is one. The other was, remember whenever I mentioned that the EPA told me that they were investigating him for falsifying records? That is one of the things mentioned in the complaint as falsifying records or not providing records or not doing proper paperwork. These are pretty serious claims against him.
And they're
now-
still in some ways taking it lightly.
They meaning who?
Mayor.
Yes.
Yeah.
I knew what you meant. I just wanted you to
Mayor,
clarify.
sorry,
for
the
everyone.
mayor.
Yeah.
The mayor is still taking it lightly.
Right.
It appears to be, yeah.
A reasonable person, again, would think if you're answering, if your city, you're leading a city, and you and your city employees are answering to an organization like the EPA, and you've got something like this facing you, isn't it a reasonable thought that you could show the EPA that you're serious about fixing things by, as far as this has gotten and all the documentation we have to suggest that he's not been doing his job properly, maybe terminate him and show the EPA you're going to correct this problem.
I don't know. I mean, and you guys can tell me if you have the same mindset, but if I was the mayor that day when the EPA showed up at a sewer plant on September 16th, 2025, and I saw...
At the actual plant.
At the actual plant, and I was able to witness the state of the plant and the state of that laboratory, and that Mr. Tipsword could not produce bench sheets, I believe at that point...
But before you say that, explain the state of the laboratory.
Covered in dust, evidence of animals. None of the equipment had been recently calibrated. Right. Most of the chemicals were out of date. There was an oven there for the purpose of doing some of the testing. It was packed with insects. It was in a deplorable state of condition.
You could tell it had not been used.
It appeared to have not been used for quite some time. So.
And he couldn't produce bench sheets, which are worksheets that show the work that he's doing while he's
writing down the
so
test
that was the condition. What would you?
And I'm going to get back to the bench sheets in a minute too, because I have more information on that.
Okay.
I would have sent him home pending termination, and then I would have gone through the proper steps to terminate him. And
he is covered by a union, so you have to go through.
Yeah, you have to go through the proper steps. I would have went through the proper steps to terminate him, and found a replacement for him or a company to come in as a contractor to provide Class 1 sewer and Class A water.
There are companies out there that do that.
There are companies like, yes.
And you would do this because you care for the community.
Absolutely. And I know there's
and you would be
companies...
appalled that he put you in that position.
I know there are companies out there like that because Senator Rose has indicated that there are some companies that he actually gave us names for a couple of those companies. I believe did Adam Niemer's office also refer us to some or mention some of these companies?
I just spoke to Rose's office on the companies.
Oh, okay.
But you came across one through a FOIA request.
Yes.
We get into that in a second.
Yeah.
But at the very least, even if you wouldn't go that far, wouldn't you have imposed some sort of discipline?
Something.
He's done nothing to him.
The app suspended him without pay. And
do you know why?
Pending
Do you have any idea why?
I have no idea.
I don't either.
I have no idea.
It escapes me.
I did have a resident call me and inform me of some tenuous connection between the two, and that connection was that years ago, Mr. Tipsworth's father, he owned or still owns an auto mechanic shop, works on import vehicles. His name is Tom Tipsword, and he had employed as one of his mechanics a guy by the name of Jeff Courtney, who is David Courtney's brother. And that's the only connection I've seen.
I have no idea.
I've heard.
I just don't understand why he hadn't done something.
I've heard rumors of a familial connection, but I have not been able to verify that.
But I would say this though. Not taking action, you would think a mayor would want to. I would think it would, if I was the mayor, to look good in the light of the community, to take care of the problem. That would make him look good.
You would think that would be the bigger issue than looking good to you, Mr. Tipton.
Right? Yes.
You also look good to him
to show that he's trying to help the community.
Essentially, I don't care what the rest of you all say.
Yeah,
I'm going to take care of you.
He has to understand.
You can't do that.
He needs to be reminded what the pecking order is.
Yeah.
Okay. Aaron Tipsword works for the mayor, who works for us.
For us.
And the mayor needs to take a look at who he works for, and make the decision accordingly to rein in this person who, and I think it's fair to say, based upon all public documents and based upon the complaints filed by the EPA against Mr. Tipsword, he was not doing the job. Not doing the
mayor
job.
should be appalled at Mr. Tipser for putting the mayor in this position.
Yes.
I would be outraged.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the only, put aside any kind of connection between the two of them, the only other thing I can figure is the mayor doesn't want to do anything because people like me and you have suggested.
And maybe he's dug his heels in, and that's what he's done. Maybe
that's
it. Could
I
be an
don't
ego
know.
thing, but back to the bench sheets.
Yeah.
The complaint from the EPA
Yes,
states that they requested 5 years worth of bench sheets.
Okay.
Okay, he was only able to produce 6 months worth.
Yeah, 6 months. I didn't know
That's-
they went 5 years. Okay.
So he was not able to produce 90% of the bench sheets that they requested.
Now, I asked him about that in the February council meeting. What was his answer?
I got some of them on my laptop. Not all of them. I got some of them.
Okay.
I'm sorry, that was a bad
But again,
impersonation.
Well, I mean,
That just leads someone who doesn't have knowledge of what's going on. It leads you to believe that, you know, maybe he has 90%, doesn't have 10, and it's just the opposite.
Yeah, he did
And,
not.
and what some of these people don't realize is we know the answers to these questions
Yeah.
most of the time.
most of them are
Yeah,
rhetorical.
and
We already know.
Just
Yeah.
be upfront
And we
with
spoke
us.
to the plant's previous operator who indicated that bench sheets are what you write down the test results with, and then you transfer that data, that handwritten data, to a computer. And I asked him, I go, well, you mean he wouldn't just type it directly into the computer? He said, no, because you're wearing gloves and you've got, I mean, frankly, you've got poop
And
water.
you're just writing them down like that.
You know, and you don't want to contaminate your laptop. You're not going to take the gloves off every time you got to type stuff in. You write it down. That's your bench sheet. You staple that to, you know, some reports, and you keep that in the filing cabinet.
Right.
Right.
And he actually, he told me that he could give me directions to go to the sewer plant, go to the office, and find the bench sheets from when he was the sewer plant operator.
Which are required to be kept there.
Yeah.
That's part of the.
How long are they required? At least 5 years, I take it.
Yeah, at least 5 years.
Yeah, at least 5
I don't
years.
have the answer to that.
Yeah, I don't know how long they have to. Maybe you can keep some of them off site, but certainly the most recent ones are supposed to be kept there. And at the time of the report, as the report says, he could produce none. Correct.
That is correct.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, the mayor should have taken him outside, had a conversation with him. To make sure, I was saying that for.
I know it just sounded weird.
It's just like,
Take him
hey,
outside
tell
and-
me what's going on here.
Right.
Is what they're saying accurate? Have you messed up this bad? And get a straight answer from him. And if that's the case, yeah.
I don't think he needed to have that conversation.
Well, I
not from
always
the
want
look
to
of it all,
understand.
yeah,
I understand,
no.
but
Trees growing in the sludge tank. Most
That's
of
what I
the,
wanted you
most
to
of the
say, yeah.
equipment broke,
yeah,
and the lab in the deplorable condition it was.
I just
Go
at least
home.
give him
Takes a
benefit
while
of
for
the
a
doubt
tree to
and
grow a little bit, I mean, not just
it's a
overnight.
very, very fertile area for it to grow.
True.
It's fertilized
Very fertilized.
on the daily.
Yeah, on
but,
the daily, yeah.
Okay, so next,
Okay.
and Gail Bowman, she was appalled at the idea that this man, who has allowed our sewer plant to fall into such a state of disrepair, would be in charge of our drinking water.
Of our drinking
and
water.
if you recall, during our text messages, the mayor had made a statement to, I believe, Russell Goins. I'm paraphrasing, but I think this is pretty accurate, that people care a whole lot more about what they drink than what they flush.
Yep. That's exactly
But
actually what you-
after saying that, I agree 100%, Mr. Mayor. People do care more about what they drink than what they flush.
They do.
And people are up in arms about the state of the sewer plant. And you're going to keep that individual in charge of what we drink?
Which is what they care more about.
That is so short-sighted.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So, and Gail, she communicated that very effectively. And she was also communicating that how appalled she was about the state of the lack of respect that elected officials have for members of the community. The names that they were calling not just her family, but the two of us and others.
in the text.
It was terrible. Yeah.
It's sad. It's sad.
It is sad. Yeah. Next up was Kelsey Mickowitz. I know some people on have been asking Kelsey's husband if they were speaking on my behalf because they thought that I had coordinated their remarks, and my response to that is, so what if I did? I didn't. Kelsey wrote her remarks. She did run them by me, run them by you as well.
I think it was well said.
she spoke very well.
I think very well
she did a great job.
But I want to say this, though. Not everybody does. Not everyone that comes to our meeting. I had no idea what this man was going to say. Nothing.
Nothing.
None of us
It was
did.
a total surprise.
He made his own speech.
Yeah.
I had no idea what, well, other than Kelsey just running it by us because
Yep.
she just wanted to get our opinion. No one ran their speeches by us. So if people out there think that that's what's happening at these meetings.
They're
No,
not.
people talk about at our meetings at our home, our super secret meetings, at my home, not our home. Well, you don't live with me.
I don't live with you. No.
We'll get to somebody you do live with here in a little bit.
Oh, yeah, we are going to get
We will
to that.
get to that, yeah.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the dogs either. We're talking about
We talk about what we all as a group feel like needs to be addressed at the next meeting.
Yeah.
And then people pick something that they want to talk about, and they
write their own remarks. Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
not to say we've never talked about some of the remarks to the extent that we even did with Kelsey, but as a general rule, we don't.
Yeah.
They don't know what I'm going to say.
She has a right of free speech. She can say whatever she wants, and I'm not going to control it.
yeah, none of us know what you're going to.
Well, I mean,
I don't know what
we
he's
might
gonna say.
we might say I think I'm going to touch on this subject. This
Yeah,
subject.
but not detail
exactly.
at
We
all.
don't sit there and read speech. We don't even. Yeah, I usually don't even put my notes down until the day of. To be honest with you,
Right. But you and I
fresh in my mind.
You and I coordinate pretty closely on a lot of things.
Right, but I'm talking about the
work
finished
together.
report
Yeah,
or the finished
yeah.
thing that I'm going to say. I don't usually do till the day
The day
before
after.
the day of. Yeah.
Same, yeah.
Part of that's just
Mine is-
procrastination too.
Mine is, well, I usually start preparing mine about 2 weeks ahead of time. This time I didn't. I did it the day of.
Yeah.
But those remarks kind of evolve as information
Yes.
is coming in, trickling in. So
But you know how people that want to criticize some of this, the process that we go through, you know how they could figure out what's really going on?
they could attend our super secret
could attend
meetings.
the meeting.
The super secret meetings of
It-
the Super Secret Meeting Society.
And they have a right to criticize even more if they come to the
If
meeting.
they come to the meeting, yeah. And we've had disagreements at these meetings before.
Yes.
Yeah, you and I have disagreed.
Yeah.
We've disagreed right here on the podcast.
And
It happens.
But I mean, we've had some serious disagreements at some of these meetings.
Yes, we have.
But everybody's always walked out friends, and still may not agree with one another. But
Right.
there's been no ongoing problems.
Well,
But
like-
yeah, but that does get under my skin for someone to criticize something
Yeah.
in two ways. First of all, without knowing all the facts.
Yep.
Yeah.
And everybody's done
Everybody.
that.
Yeah.
But once it's pointed out, it's time to say, hey, maybe I do need to learn a little bit more. I still might walk away
Yeah.
with my belief, but you're right. I need to look into that more.
Yeah.
Or when they want to attack you personally.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. We're talking about the disagreements. One of the frequent attendees at our meeting is Mitch Mikowitz. And
Yeah.
Mitch said, jokingly and teasing us when he came to the last super secret meeting of the Super Secret
Yes,
Meeting
that he had a
Society,
red shirt on.
that he was wearing a red shirt. He goes, but you red hats aren't going to change me. Mitch is a staunch Democrat, and
It's a good man.
the three of us sitting here at the table, we're conservatives. And we all get along. We
Yeah.
disagree on certain national politics
Right,
things.
yeah.
But
Yeah, that's
but
not
we're-
what this is about.
It's
We're
not.
yeah.
No. Yeah. But anyway, Mitch got up and spoke. I'm sorry, Kelsey spoke directly to the childish nature of the text messages from Mr. Fritsch.
Right.
And she also encouraged him to resign. And she did so eloquently. So I applaud her for getting up and speak. I had someone reach out to me on Facebook and say she was so proud of all of the people who spoke at the meeting. We all did such a great job. So, but next up was Mitch Mikowitz, and Mitch was addressing actually a follow-up based upon his conversation at the last council meeting, where he had reported to the mayor that a city worker had defamed and insulted his son. Mitch's son was a varsity member of the third place state basketball team
Yep. Very
this
well.
year. Jacek Mikowitz, and man, him and his teammates. Wow, what a great job you guys all done! I would
They
love to
did
talk.
Yeah.
I would love to talk to members of that team on this podcast.
I would too.
and celebrate them.
That would be cool.
Absolutely, these kids really represented Lawrenceville well. What a great thing. So, anyway, he was addressing that, and he was asking the mayor for an update to see if anything was done to this employee. and there was no information provided. The mayor did give a
half-hearted,
yeah, that's
half-hearted
excuse.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah. These guys were
really busy.
They were super hardworking, removing the snow.
But apparently not on his street.
No, I gotta tell you,
That's true.
I have photographs of that area of town because I was told that they didn't have the snow removal. So I drove down to that area of town. I took pictures of the streets going both ways, all the way down. And Mitch was accurate. That the snow was still hard packed and it was terrible. Then, just for effect, I drove to the Lincoln Heights neighborhood,
and it was clear.
And there was
You
one
could see
street that
pavement.
had a little bit of snow on it, but otherwise it was clear.
Pavement, yeah.
It was clear. Yeah, clear pavement.
But again, it just goes to the. I understand the need to stand up for your employees whenever they need to be, and we do have some great, wonderful employees.
Absolutely.
We had one there the other night. Mike
Hardiman.
He
seems like a really nice guy.
Seems like a nice guy. So we have some great employees, but when you're wrong, you're wrong. What Mitch was talking about didn't necessarily merit someone being fired, but it did. If it happened, do your investigation as the boss. Yeah. If it happened, you investigate it, and he needs to be reprimanded, and then an apology needs to be made, either from the employee or from the mayor to the person affected. And an explanation that, hey, it should not happen again.
Absolutely.
I've owned businesses before, more than one, and there's times to take up for your employees when they're right, but when they're wrong, you take corrective action. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't seem like this mayor wants to do that. I haven't seen that evidence.
Yep.
So.
So anyway, he spoke, and he was not happy with the council or. Mitch is disgusted with the mayor, Mr. Fritsch, who is over his ward. He did call out the new council member, Bob Hedge.
Yeah, and again, it wasn't personal. I don't think he just didn't know him.
He's like, I don't know you. I've lived here 40 years, and I don't know you, but I will replace you.
Yes, and I say that. And again, it wasn't personal against Mr. Hedge. It was that Mitch Mikowitz believes that there are two other people who are more qualified.
For what we need.
Matt Bruff, number one, and then Matt Lawson, who would be great.
And who knows? Maybe Mr. Hedge will do a great job.
Yeah, and maybe he will in every other aspect. But I still maintain that with what the city's facing with this EPA stuff, if the EPA saw either severe discipline or maybe discharge of Mr. Tipsherd and the mayor seating. You're the EPA representatives, and I'm the mayor, and I come to you and say, hey, here's some action I've taken. I've discharged this guy. We're looking at a company to do it. You can't just discharge him overnight. You have to have made arrangements to have someone be able to run the plant. So you do all that. Maybe you discipline him for a while, time off or something while you're getting your ducks in a row. And then, Mr. EPA representatives, I'm also seating a new council member, and let me show you his resume and what he does. Don't you think that would have
made more
with
sense?
EPA?
Common sense, yeah.
I would have stood up at a council meeting, clapped and cheered for the mayor. I would have.
Right.
And and I know that sometimes we have disagreements because I want to be the nice guy, but I would have done that. I would have stood up and cheered for him. And, great job. But he didn't do that. So. Anyway, next was a resident by the name of Tara Davis. I don't really know Tara, but she spoke. Honestly, I'm sorry, I couldn't follow.
I couldn't either.
What she was speaking about? Do you
apparently just issues with law enforcement?
Issues with law enforcement.
No.
Okay. She was a little bit.
Apparently, she had been run over at Walmart earlier that day or something.
Yeah, that's.
I think maybe someone had bumped. I don't know what the situation was, and I'm not making fun of her at all. I'm just saying her story did kind of make me think what would happen.
And she said something toward the end. I don't remember what it was, but it got a lot of laughs from everybody.
Yeah,
she was trying. I think she was trying to be lighthearted.
She was. She was trying to be lighthearted, and I think she did accomplish that part.
Yeah.
But no, as far as I know, she had some issues with law enforcement. Hopefully, they all get that worked out.
Yep. Then we had Scott Durant. And he is the son-in-law of Doug and Gail Bowman. And Scott, I've gotten to know Scott over this last year. He was angry. I could see. I could see he was angry.
He really was. Yeah.
He has been expressing that at some of our super secret meetings. When he is disgusted. He's disgusted with the city government of Lawrenceville.
Yeah, he is.
He spoke passionately about the loss of value in his home. His property value is dropping because of these infrastructure issues, and how we've allowed someone to manage our infrastructure who has allowed it to go into such a state of egregious disrepair. And then the mayor did cut him off. Your 5 minutes is up, Scott.
Yeah, and I have to say, and I've apologized to Scott since then. Had I realized that he had, much more to say, I wish I had. There is a process in place where the council can, someone can make a motion, and if it gets seconded and voted on, to have someone speak longer than their 5 minutes. Wish I'd done that, Scott, and try to do better next. I will try to do better next time.
But I think what Scott's very angry about, and was trying to be, he was actually a little sarcastic, which I've never seen him do, was that the lack of seriousness. They're taking it so lightly.
Yeah,
and not getting things done, and not paying out what they should, and doing what's right.
Not only in actions, but in their what he believes is in their heart, which was revealed in the text messages.
Yes,
that's the issue. Again, the issue is not just the insults in the text message.
No.
It's what was revealed in their hearts and minds in those text messages.
It's the spirit behind those messages. Yeah,
it's the spirit behind it.
They have no respect for the electorate.
Well, they actually think it's a joke, and this is no one's laughing.
No,
this is not a joke.
And I'll be the first to stand up and say, if the city was not at fault, we should not pay.
Right.
And I'm not an attorney. I'm not representing anyone legally. I can just say that I've read enough evidence that they have every right to be pushing this, and where it ends up legally in the end, who knows? But it should not get just blown off. No one should say that there is evidence that they caused it themselves. No one should say they're trying to defraud the community. That should not be said.
Right. Scott Durant is a good man.
Yeah.
You're a very good man, yeah.
And
I would venture
many
to say
of
one of
us,
the best people I've ever met.
Many of us should strive to be half as good of a person as what the
I
Durant,
agree. I totally agree.
Scott Durant is.
Him and Doug. So.
Yeah, Doug and their wives. Hannah and Gail they are wonderful people.
Family. Yeah.
And kind and compassionate. They really care about others. And to see them being treated this way really, really angers me.
And let's not take away from the other people involved too.
Yep.
You got Mr. and Mrs. Horn. I mean,
oh gosh,
they
so
just
nice.
living their lives quietly. Just they didn't want all this attention and all these problems, and then it comes to their doorstep, and they get treated the way that they've been treated.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not saying that they should or shouldn't have been paid at this point. From what I've seen, in my opinion, I think everything's leaning toward their favor. I mean,
I agree.
I just hesitate from a legal sense to make that call. And then you've got Jennifer Rodriguez and her family. That was a whole different rainstorm. But she made a valid claim.
And she's had issues for years as well.
For years. And it's the fact that no one has taken them seriously.
And to say it's a new problem, too, because I worked on a house 22 years ago that had black water in the basement. Around, I don't know what, it's a single-digit street number, but and oh boy, it was terrible. And we called and they tried to take care of it, but again, the roots, all this stuff. This was 20-some years ago.
Yeah.
So it's not a new problem.
And there are people that would say, well, the infrastructure's old and those things are going to happen.
True.
And to some degree, that's true. But you also can take, what was the name of that maintenance plan that you...
The CMOM.
You can take steps to limit those problems.
Yeah.
And have regular maintenance. And apparently we haven't. We don't even have, the Myers truck hasn't been working for how many years properly. Yeah. We don't have any... We haven't been following the plan.
They're not proactive.
Right, we should be proactive, have a plan in place.
Sometimes, things happen where you have to be reactive.
Yeah.
But
you're going to have a line collapse occasionally. You're going to have things like that. But it doesn't appear to me that we were, and according to the EPA's reports, we weren't even doing, I hesitate to say this, but possibly the bare minimum.
It's almost like how people treat flat roofs. If you wait till a flat roof leaks, you've waited too late.
You waited too long.
Proactive, got to keep it.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
So the next guy that got up and spoke,
Weird guy.
wow, what a bozo!
Yeah.
He was not as bad as the guy who followed him.
Yeah.
But so I was the next guy who got up and spoke at the city council meeting, and now for your viewing pleasure, I'm going to read my entire. No, I'm joking.
Oh, I'm so glad you're joking.
I had to take a second.
It wasn't that good the first time, so you know.
Okay, well, you're out of the family. So anyway, I spoke about the text messages primarily. There was a lot of messages between various council members and the mayor. I also spoke about the willingness or lack thereof of council members to sit down and have a conversation with you and I, Dwayne, about the issues. Because we have done an extensive amount of research.
Yes.
And as Dawn Brewer indicated when we met with her, we know things that they didn't. We know things that the mayor doesn't, and he should be the most knowledgeable in city government on these issues.
But you got to care enough to know.
Yes, yes. And
Got to care enough to want to seek out the knowledge.
Yes. Yes.
Exactly. But whenever someone says, "Hey, I've done all the work, let me open the books and show you all of this," you take that meeting.
Yes.
You sat down with them.
Yeah.
It's appalling to me that several of them won't. And there are two council members that I did not request a meeting with. And I was very clear about it. I did not request a meeting with Victor Fritsch because I do not like him. I do not think he's a serious man.
He's
No.
not. Yeah.
You know, the things, he's called me a succubus in these messages.
Yes.
For those who don't know, that's a pretty terrible thing to be called if you're a guy. So,
Or anyone.
yeah, exactly. Called you Satan.
Yeah.
So, no, I have no interest in meeting with him. I have my interest with him is in him resigning or being voted out of the office. But I also didn't
He would
request.
be doing himself a favor by just resigning.
I did not request a sit-down meeting with Mr. Dunn.
Yes. Right.
Well,
And it's not
you
because
have
I-
in the past.
I have in the past. I have.
You have in the past.
And he has declined in the past. That's true. But I didn't request here recently a sit down with him, and it's not because I don't like him, because I do like Jim. He's a nice man. As a matter of fact, he sent me a text message thanking me, and although he doesn't agree with everything that I do, he knows that essentially my heart's in the right place and that I care about the city of
Well,
Lawrenceville.
he's one of the I think he was the only one of the council members, besides you, that he came up to me before the meeting started and asked me how I was doing with the building thing on South 15th Street. He really wanted to know.
He cares.
He does.
Yep. I think Jim Dunn's a good man. But the others, it was just unfortunate. Well, Dawn Brewer, she did meet with us. My other council member, Teresa Green, did not indicate that she wanted to meet with the two of us, and she explained during a tearful episode of the council meeting that she was not comfortable meeting with the two of us, and I tried to respond that sometimes when you put your name on a petition and then on a ballot, and then you are elected by the will of the people to serve in that capacity, sometimes you take uncomfortable meetings. It's what you do. It is your responsibility to the electorate.
But the excuse didn't hold for the fact that Stacy Middall said she'd go with her. His wife would be there, all that. There would be people there and all. And she still said, so I don't think it was a valid.
Well, she said that she doesn't want to meet with two men.
Well, there would be women there too.
Well, here's an interesting thing. Do you know that whenever she declined the meeting with me and Dwayne, she was trying to set up a meeting with me and Jim Dunn? And last time I checked, Jim Dunn and I, both men.
Both men.
Yeah. So I invited her. I was like,
It wasn't the two men; it's the two of us.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just call it out for what it is.
And she might have been nervous.
She doesn't want to meet with the two of us.
Right.
And she might have been nervous. She is nervous, not might have been.
That's okay.
And I would be too.
And she might have been nervous not to know, hey, what if I don't know the answers? I mean,
But see what she's got to understand. You're right. We're not going to quiz her. We want to present her with information.
Yep.
And we want to. We will
don't wanna
say things
confront her.
like, "Now, don't you think this is concerning?" But we're not going to say, why didn't you know this? That's not the purpose of the meeting. It's to educate you in the hopes that the next time you sit down on that city council,
Right.
at a city council meeting, you'll speak up on their behalf, like I have been, like you all have been, to try to take corrective action, all this stuff. But
during that interaction,
when we met with Dawn, we met in a public place, in a restaurant. There's no reason for her to be concerned about me.
I think the only time we got loud during that meeting was when we were laughing and joking.
Yeah.
We had it was a good meeting. It was. We planned on an hour and a half. It actually lasted 3 hours.
Oh my!
Yeah.
3-hour meeting, and that was something else. But I think it was the way I classified it was polite, productive, and professional.
Yeah.
And I thank Dawn at the council meeting for that. But something that Teresa said, do you remember when I said, well, you can invite your husband to sit down with us? I
don't want to invite him.
I suggested that.
Is what she said.
Yeah.
Right.
I suggested that because I felt that there's no other person on earth who would make her feel more at ease than having her husband there with her.
Right.
What's her concern? Is he not going to be fair?
Well, she said, oh, you don't want him there. And that, to me...
But she didn't say why.
Well, that's what she
said, you don't want him here.
I understand that. No. What I meant
she didn't say why.
Why she didn't want.
No,
that's what she was implying.
Here's what I think.
Yes.
I think it's because she doesn't see us as people that she can collaborate with. She sees us as adversaries.
The enemy.
And she thought it was going to be an adversarial situation, and she's worked. Frankly, I'm not scared either. I don't know if what she was saying was in a way to be intimidating about.
Right.
No, I'm not scared. Let him sit there. I don't care. Just be there and comfort you, and then you look at the information and make up your mind. I've known him all my life.
I think it would be fine. But
I don't know him, but I think she's nice. Every time I've had an interaction to her, she's pretty nice mostly. Not always, but mostly. And I think that I can't imagine her being married to a guy who also isn't also nice. They're church-going folks as well.
Yes, he's a very nice guy.
Okay, well, you know him.
Yes.
Okay.
All my life.
All right, and his name is Dwayne also, right? Okay, yeah. But, Teresa, invite your husband. He can sit down with us.
Love to hear it.
We're going to be gentlemen. We can do it in a public place. We just can't invite another council member because it's a violation of open meetings.
Right.
So,
and again, the reason the two of us want to be there is because there's so much information, and even to this day, sometimes I have to come to you and say, what was that piece of information I forgot? Well, do you have this or that? And then you do the same with me. Once we present the information to whoever wants to sit down with us, after that, if you want to meet with one of us at a time, we're up for that.
Absolutely.
But it's not fair for us to give you part of the information. Let us give you all the information, and then if you want to meet individually after that.
Absolutely.
And any of them can come to these.
And I appreciate the fact that she did get Mr. Dunn to agree to meet with me with her. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah.
But do that after we meet.
But
we're requesting the meeting. She represents you. That's the way it should be done. Then if she wants to meet with Mr. Dunn and you, that's fine. And any of them can come to these super secret meetings too.
Yeah, any one of them at a time.
Would you guys quit that super secret?
Well, someone had thought they were outing us on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
About our secret Monday night meetings. So I started referring to it on the podcast as the super secret meetings that we have, and they're no longer on Monday nights, by the way. In an effort to keep everything under wraps and not let people know.
It's on Wednesday nights at 9.
Well, no.
It's on Sundays at 5.
And you say that in an effort to obscure when and where the meetings are, right? Because they're super secret.
Super secret. Yeah.
All right. So, anyway, further on in the remarks, I did get into the issue with confronting the mayor about Mr. Tipsword's what I thought at the time was suspension. Turns out it's going to be a revocation of his sewer certification from the Illinois EPA. He did acknowledge that. And then I shared with him my thought that keeping him on city employment is a bad move.
Right, and you were what, the third or fourth person, fifth person that night to do that? Third?
Yeah, and he needs to save face and terminate Mr. Tipsword. That's essentially how I ended my conversation with him. At one point, though, he did grab the clock.
I know. Yeah.
Because I think he got tired of
You
what
handled
I was
that pretty
saying.
well,
Yeah, you did.
I've still got a minute left, sir.
Let me talk
I like
about
it. Still got a minute left, sir.
I didn't come prepared to talk about this, but since you brought up the clock thing, sometimes I wonder about people and the decisions that they make and how they make them. And I think back, and sometimes I just gotta laugh at the conclusion that I come to, because so often it seems like people make decisions based on who's made the suggestion versus what the suggestion is.
Yes.
And we talked about that's what a lot of this is about. But then boil it down to the most simplest thing: this time clock.
A time clock, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Who suggested a time clock?
you did.
Who had to call a vote to buy a $50 or $100 time clock?
Yeah, you did.
I had to make a motion. I don't know if you were coming at the time.
I was not, no.
I had to make a motion to have a time clock purchased.
Oh, my.
And you know why I was doing that? Because people started coming to the meetings and talking, and their time was being monitored by hand motions, by writing on a piece of paper. And if you're talking and you got 5 minutes, and every so often I'm like, you got 3 minutes left, you got 2 minutes left, that's going to throw your concentration.
Yeah, it did me.
But no one on the council thought that was unfair to the people speaking.
Yeah.
So I had this bright idea.
Bright idea.
I had this bright idea.
Common sense, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not really that bright, to be honest with you.
No.
But hey, let's have a time clock so people can watch it, right? So I bring it up at the meeting, and who voted against it? Do you remember? 2 people voted against
Victor
it.
Fritz and Ron Walter.
Right. We know why Victor did. I don't know why Ron did.
Yeah.
But when that suggestion was made, it was being discussed. If I recall, I had mentioned that there are clocks where the time is being recorded on both sides.
There are double-sided clocks, yep. Yeah.
And you know what they bought? The one where it's on one side.
So he has to go like this with it.
Yes, every time. Every time. You would think you'd think you'd set that one aside and just go buy another one.
Yeah. You did notice that one of the speakers got to speak for
Over 6 minutes.
over 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause
And I'm glad he got to.
yes, yeah.
But he was hoping to be able to cut me off at the 4-minute mark.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So just buy the clock that works.
But what do you think? If I was saying things that were complimentary to the mayor,
Oh, keep going, man.
Oh, and one time he forgot to set it. Miss Bowman had to point out to him, you forgot to set the clock.
Yes.
Which, if it was on both sides,
He would know.
have seen
you
that.
would know, yeah.
Okay,
So,
something
Mr.
simple.
Mayor, I encourage you to buy a clock that has the time on both sides.
yeah.
Or keep doing what you're doing. However you want to do it.
So the next speaker, wow.
Wow.
What a piece of work.
What
Yeah.
a piece of work.
Keith Bellinger,
Yeah.
the preacher man. You got up and you spoke. You actually, you quoted from Colossians.
I did. Colossians chapter 3, verse 23. Yeah. Which says, work at everything you do with all of your heart. And I had mentioned that my dad taught me if you're going to do something, do it well or don't do it.
Yeah.
And
What'd your dad think of that?
he smiled today when he saw that. 'Cause
Really?
he listened
Good.
to it, you know.
I've met
So
your dad a few
he was
times.
he was proud that I said that, I guess, you know.
Yeah. He thought, well, he listened, didn't he?
Yeah, he did listen, yeah.
No. He thought Keith listened.
Oh,
to the-
Keith listened. Yeah. Yes, his son actually listened to one thing he did. No, the thing basically, my talk was basically. It seems like I always say that a lot. It seems as they don't either like the truth or care for the truth. And I'm going to quote for you guys. I just saw this. This is what we studied tonight at Amazing Grace. The people of God. It says in Isaiah chapter 30, verse 10, they say to the seers, see no more visions. And to the prophets, give us no more visions of what is right. Tell us pleasant things. Prophesy illusions. Leave this way. Get off our path, and stop confronting us with the Holy One of Israel. We want to hear what our itching ears want to hear. We don't want to hear the truth.
Itching ears, yeah.
We don't want to hear the truth, and that seems like what the council is like they're bothered by the truth. And what I also said was that they seem to be bored.
Yeah.
Or irritated. I remember
I
at
think
the
it's more
meeting,
irritated.
Goins and the mayor went like this. what this time? You know, like, you know, and then the mayor actually a couple times kept looking at his watch because he's bored. He doesn't want to hear any of this. It's too trivial for me. It's too whatever, you know. And it's not. It's the people who voted for you, who are paying for your job. You're working for us, and it doesn't seem like they care. This is another thing. It looks like they're looking down upon the people of the town for having done their homework and looking down upon you guys for doing your homework, ready to give an answer for what they're doing and why they're doing it. Even as a Christian, you should be ready to give an answer of why you're a Christian. Why are you a Christian? I don't know. No, you should know why you're a Christian. Well, you should know why you're up there as a council member. I'm here to help the people. We work for them, like you were saying in Washington, D.C. Here's my cell phone number, and I work for you.
About the EPA.
EPA, yeah, I work for you kind of thing.
Yep.
Which there's a reference to that in the meeting.
And I don't know their faces. You'd have to watch the video when I was saying these things because I wasn't really looking at them. But when I said the list of words, and my congregation heard this because I always do lists, and then they were proud that I had 14 things. But the list was compliance, legal.
Could have had double that.
I could have had double. Fair, I like the one, backbone. FOIA, fair elections, time cards, caring for the community. That's the one there. Participation. Transparency, I didn't have it, I should have. Open, honest discussion, being prepared, which is a thing, they just don't want to be prepared. New ideas, communication, and results. But the other thing I said is like going to a math class, and before you go to the math class, the night before, you don't open the math book. In fact, you have no idea what's in that math book. So then you go to the class and take the test, and you flunk, and you're surprised why you did. Okay, they're going there. You guys, okay, you're prepared. You're prepared.
Yeah,
but you're not
prepared.
You're not. Yeah, you're not like out of the whatever. You're just prepared.
Yeah.
Which makes them look really bad because they're on the other spectrum. Not only are they not prepared, they don't know really much what's going on here, nor do they care, and that's why apathy. It's just apathy, and much like the United States of America, a lot of apathy going around. I don't know and I don't care.
You know, in the conversations between the mayor and Victor Fritsch asked about an upcoming meeting, said, are we going to have another character assassination Thursday? They're more worried about what we're going to say about them at the meeting.
But it's really not a character assassination. What you just said.
That's what they call it, assassination.
Assassination. Yeah. What it is just showing you their character.
It's accountability.
It's not really,
right.
That's what it is.
I'm holding a mirror up to them.
That's all it is. But they don't kind of like Isaiah. It don't matter if it's 2,700 years ago or today, not much has changed. They were the people of God and they didn't want to hear the truth. They didn't want anything to do with God. We got this. We got this.
Yep.
No, you don't. I just don't get it. If you...
While you were talking, I wrote down a list. I'm just kidding. It wasn't a full list. But for something that just came to mind. You used the word apathy. I think some of it, I think there are some of them on the council, that is pure disdain. And disdain will cloud your view on something. It's like, it's like having something over my glasses that I'm going to look through these glasses, but there's a covering of disdain. So I'm not really listening to what you're saying because I can't see through that disdain on my glasses. I need you to clean my glasses or take them off and listen to what you have to say.
And is the disdain caused by, several things, caused by the truth and the fact that the truth is coming from you two?
Yes.
I see a lot of two words, ignorance and apathy. Okay, and it's basically, I don't know, I don't care, now let's vote.
And who are you to try to show me the truth?
Yeah,
you are nobody. That's what it feels like to me. So, matter of fact, I meant to mention this when you were talking about your speech time. You brought up that in particular Russell Goins, that he wouldn't take your meeting. You remember when you talked about that? You went down the list. I think that was at 1 hour. 1 hour, 1 minute, and around 10 seconds. If I have that written down correctly, he was proud. His body language. Let me just say this. I don't know what was in his mind, but his body language. It appeared that he was proud that he turned down your request to meet.
Yeah, and he and I had an interesting interaction later in the meeting too. We'll get to that too.
Okay. But I want to say this. I joke around with you a lot, give you a hard time with a lot.
Yeah, you
and
do.
You do not work at Walmart.
No, I do not.
No,
I got him this job 41 years ago, and don't you forget it. But
For those
yeah.
of you who don't know, Keith is being identical twin who works
Near
at Walmart.
twins too. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but I have to say that was just great what you had to say. It hit home.
Your brother that works at Walmart, he's the good-looking one, right?
He's a good-looking
Yeah.
one, and I'm the smart one. Yeah.
But no, in all seriousness, that was great what you had to say. It was on point.
But the ending though is shame on you.
Yeah.
You can do better. We always say that to little kids. You can do better. And then what I wanted to say, I did say it, if not for yourself, for the community. I don't care if you're doing it for yourself.
Yeah.
Do it for the community that elected you and had hope in you, and really was thinking, man, they're going to be good. They're going to help us out. They had confidence in you. They were hoping you would help them, and most of them have not even been to a home in their ward. So,
Yeah.
Channel 10 WTHI was there. They covered it, and I think you were the beginning of their
I
coverage.
was, yeah, I saw that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they
Put
started
the-
with
put
the
the
shame
star.
on you.
Yeah,
Yes, they did put the
Yeah.
shame on you, yeah.
Yeah.
put the star of the show up front.
So
Yeah, right.
The next person who spoke was a gentleman by the name of Stephen Johns.
That was
And,
probably the most interesting.
Well,
No, I'm just saying.
yeah. I'm not going to get into a whole lot of the details of his talk, but
You just have to watch it.
If at the end of the video, right up here, I'm going to place a link to the council meeting. It's a little over 2 hours long. Watch it. Pay particular attention to those of us who get up and speak and address the council, and Mr. John's remarks will be on there.
He was the last speaker, I believe.
And you'll understand then why we don't go into a great detail about it, but it was animated and thought-provoking.
Yeah.
So anyway, next is council and committee reports. First on the list was a guy by the name of Mr. I Take All Night to Talk. I'm sorry, Mr. Volkman.
You know, I wondered about
How long was that? How
Okay.
long was that?
I think he spoke for almost 40 minutes.
What I have to say to that is I could have talked another 40. Probably 3 times that.
Easily. Yeah.
But the thing is, if they didn't give me so much to talk about,
That's true.
Yeah, they did give you a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
They give you a lot of prompts.
you're right. And I know
Yeah.
I ramble. I try to narrow it down the best I can, but there's just so much to cover. There was more to cover than what I had on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all joking aside, I do try to cut it down as much as I can, but there's just so much there to
There's
discuss.
a lot. Yep.
There is.
I think it's important that the community knows that I have reached out to the mayor on numerous occasions, and I'm not going to read it here, but on the video of the council meeting, you'll see where I read an email where I recapped a conversation I had with the mayor. I do that often whenever I have a conversation with someone. I'll recap it in a text, or if it's something important, recap in a text or email. To give the other person an opportunity, there's 2 reasons to have a record of it. First of all. Second of all, to give that other person an opportunity to, rebut something.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not quite what we talked about. That's not the way it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't get that kind of response. I got a response of, I'll take it under consideration, the request for a meeting. But he had nothing to say about whether or not my recap of our verbal conversation was an accurate recap. And that verbal conversation, for anyone that might be wondering, if you had I haven't anyone ask me this, but it occurred to me that someone might say, well, why are you having a conversation with the mayor? It's supposed to be a private conversation. First of all, we're talking about city business, so it should be open to anyone.
Yeah.
Second of all, it occurred in a public place, and there were people that heard some of that conversation, a good part of that conversation.
I was there, and I did overhear the conversation.
Right, so there was no expectation of privacy there.
Yeah.
So I talked about the fact that we tried, that I've tried, you've tried, to set up a meeting.
Yeah.
Talked about how the council, if they're interested in knowing all the information's there, and they don't have to get it from us for the most part. The EPA reports, they're all there. I would hope that they would at least read that.
They could, if they chose to, do the hundreds of hours of research that we've done.
Right, and as a result of those hundreds of hours, we have come up with information that I'm confident that they still are not aware of. Covered the text a little bit. My thought on the texts.
During the text, you confront, and I wanted to get this out about Mr. Goins, where he said that's easy. You're not a news source, referring to me, and you corrected him that I am a news source.
Right.
That I operate a news page. I operate a Facebook page. It's called Lawrence County, Illinois News. And nearly 8,000 followers on there. So nearly 8,000 people think I'm a news source. And he asked, and this is for anyone who loves, appreciates, and respects the United States Constitution.
Yes.
This will bother you.
Yep.
He said, "What kind of certification does he have?" And you gestured toward me, and I answered him. I said, "That's the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. Maybe you've heard of it."
Yep.
His reply was, "So no."
Right.
That is what
so
he said.
thought he had the answer. Yeah. So no, you're not certified.
Yeah.
So let's get that cleared up. You have to be certified.
Well, I have a birth certificate, and that's really all I need.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
you stated it this week on Facebook very well.
yeah, the United States Supreme Court has at least 2 rulings that have established a precedent that you don't have to be part of a large media outlet. They have a concept that it's the lone pamphleteer.
Yep, pamphleteer, yeah.
That if I am just out there passing out pamphlets with news, I am a legitimate news source and news
Right.
outlet. The Supreme Court has ruled that is I am a news source. Okay, not me
So
specifically, but I am a
there's
news
no
source.
government office or state office that you go to
get a license or certification.
to fill
No.
an application
No.
and get okay.
Now you can go to college and study journalism.
You can, yeah.
Okay, you can go to college and study Mandarin Chinese. 不过现在我会说中文了。
There you go. There you go.
Okay, I didn't go to college to learn that either. You can learn things and put them into practice
But was that
without.
real Mandarin Chinese though?
It sounded like it.
对啊，
I just
我
wanna
会
make-
说
yeah,
中文，
okay.
我不骗你。
All right.
Yes, yeah, it was real Mandarin. I speak Mandarin Chinese.
What Mr. Goins did there is one of my biggest fears in public speaking, and I'm sure I've done it before, and I'm sure I'll do it again. But you got to be careful about talking about something that you don't know about,
Yeah, that's
and
it.
that's what he did. But he come out of it. I think in his mind, he still thinks he was right. So hopefully he sees.
Well, I
Yes.
sent him. I put an article up on my news page explaining to the public that I even cited the Supreme Court precedent.
It was very
in
clear.
there.
It was very clear.
Okay.
And I'll bring.
So, but that's my point.
Yeah.
You
But
know?
also the thing-
and if you don't know all of the subject you're talking about, maybe it's time to say, hey, okay.
Or not very much. You
yeah.
can't know all.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, but
Yeah.
if someone's
Right.
correcting you, there's no shame in saying.
I didn't
My
know that.
apologies,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
But that's not the route he took. The route he took was, again, disdain towards you.
Disdain, yeah.
So you're saying the Constitution. So that means you don't have a license to be a. No, that's not what he said, Mr.
No.
Goins. It's not what he said. You missed the whole point.
So
And his statement about the lone pamphleteer, anyone in media will know that name.
Yeah.
Will know that.
So the First Amendment states, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press,
yeah.
or of the right of the people peaceably to assemble and petition the government for a redress of grievances. Something very important, it does not define the press. Okay? The Supreme Court has, in 2 decisions, in Lovell versus the City of Griffin in 1938, the Supreme Court struck down a city ordinance that required permission from the government before distributing literature. Okay? The Chief Justice at the time, Charles Evan Hughes, wrote that the press includes every sort of publication which affords a vehicle of information and opinion. Okay? The other was the lonely pamphleteer principle,
Yeah.
and which was established in Brandsburg versus Hayes, 1972. The court noted that freedom of the press is not limited to institutional media organizations. So the press belongs to the lonely pamphleteer just as much as the large metropolitan publisher.
Yep.
So
Did you send that to him?
I sent him an email with a link to that article, and he responded, "Thank you." I'm not sure if that was a facetious thank you or a sincere thank you.
Doesn't really matter.
I may ask him.
I don't think it
later,
matters, does it?
but-
Not really, but at some point
But
you
I
would
do
like
want-
to think that some of the stuff that we provided these people will actually change their minds.
I do want to know that the person who is elected to represent the public does respect the rights of the public.
Yeah.
So that was my point of that. So
And no one on the council. First of all, the nicknames. Again, it's not the biggest issue.
No.
But no one wanted to fess up on who came up with it. I thought that was more funny than anything.
Yeah.
Vladimir,
Who come up with Vladimir? Who come up with the say that we know that was Victor, but the Vladimir thing, nobody wanted to say.
Yeah.
Make
You
a
asked,
joke.
you asked the mayor and he said no comment.
No comment.
It was kind of funny. Why wouldn't they just
Why
say?
wouldn't they just say?
Yeah.
But even worse than that, no one other than Victor, when he was directly confronted by Mr. Bowman, and no one offered an apology or any kind of
Well,
That was not a full-throated
Attempted.
apology.
No, it was not. It was not. But and again,
Teresa
it was
did do an apology about what was said.
She did apologize to me,
She-
and she did explain it, and I will accept her explanation that she did not intend it in the spirit that it was received. I accept her apology,
okay.
and I want to apologize to Teresa. In no way did I ever mean by trying to hold her as an elected official accountable did I ever mean for her to get so upset that she would be so tearful. That
She's
that did
emotional.
affect me. I don't like to see that. And Teresa, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happened. But I do want to meet with you, with Dwayne, and you can invite your Dwayne, your husband, and we can have a peaceful sit down in a public forum to show you all the information. Kindly.
Right.
If she can be,
politely.
if she can understand that she's not going to be, give me this. That you're just wanting to give her information, not the other way around. And I think that's what she's
She
still
made the
afraid of.
statement about not being the smartest person up there.
Right.
I don't care about that. I don't care that you are or are not the smartest person up there. I believe she has one of the biggest hearts of people on the council.
Yeah.
She does a lot for this community. She does a lot of fundraising and charitable actions for this community, and no one questions her heart. And I've said to people, Teresa reminds me of my mother. I love my mother.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So Teresa reminds me of my mother. She's not old enough to be my mother,
No.
but she reminds me of my mother. She leads with her heart, and that's not a bad thing. I love my mother very much.
Yep.
So
Well, again, I keep using this word because I really feel that that's what it is, the disdain for those of us that are pointing this stuff out. They're irritated. There was no contrition at all for any of this stuff. If I'd have been caught in stuff like that, I think I'd have been like, hey, you're right, I shouldn't have been saying those things. But even more importantly, it's now time. This is the most important part. It's now time for me to take another look at this stuff, and maybe you guys have some points.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
let's see what we can do to fix
But their
it.
disdain is
But
so
none of
strong. Their disdain is so strong.
They
You cannot see
that.
it.
They can't see through it.
No.
it is not too late.
It's like there's a film, not just a film over it. There's a black paper over it where you can't. It's dark. Their minds are dark on this stuff. Anyhow,
But it's not too late. They can choose to sit down with us.
they can, yeah.
It would earn a lot of my respect if they would sit down with us and have this conversation. And I would invite any of them except Victor Fitch to do so. I don't trust him or like him. I don't respect his position on that council because I don't think he takes it seriously.
I think he needs to step down.
Yeah, meeting with him may be a waste of time anyway, because it's not going to.
I absolutely believe it would be.
I don't think he would get anything out of it because he's not going to let that happen.
No.
He's I don't know what the other word would be, but he's further down the line than disdain.
He's obstinate, immature, childish.
Right, and something else that he brought up, which I put him and the mayor on the spot over, is Victor made an accusation in his email or his text messages to the mayor that I had bribed an EPA agent to get the water, to get the September 16th water report to be as bad as it is. So obviously I didn't bribe anybody, first of all. And I asked the mayor, and the mayor didn't correct him. in the text.
No, he didn't.
I don't think he responded at all. They had communication after that. But I asked the mayor, why didn't you correct him? Do you think that I've bribed an EPA agent for this stuff? And the mayor did say, no, I don't think he did. Okay, so that's fine.
Yep.
Mayor said that. But here's the bigger point. If Mr. Fritsch thinks those reports are so bad, which they are, and it can be proven that they're accurate and they aren't a result of being bribed, don't you think that's that much more of a reason to take them serious? Mm-hmm. If you really thought they were not accurate reports,
Yeah.
okay, fine, maybe one. But you know deep down that they're not, that they are accurate. The mayor does. I don't know. Victor might really believe that I did that. I don't know. He even wanted to subpoena my bank records. He said in the text.
In the text message, he did, yeah.
He
yeah.
thought that my bank records and the bank records of the EPA agent should be subpoenaed. That was in his text message.
Mm-hmm.
If you really believe that, that's fine. The proof will bear out that you're wrong. But the mayor knows that didn't happen. So therefore, the mayor has to take that report serious.
Mm-hmm.
Yet he's still not doing much.
No.
I don't understand that. The other thing that came up was I'd come across this program, and I left it sitting at home.
Mm-hmm. DMRQA.
DMRQA
Yeah,
program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I spoke to an EPA attorney today, called my house, because I left a message with one of his departments, or one of the people that he is over, I guess, to look into that.
Mm-hmm.
And they're actually looking into that.
Yes, they are. Yep.
Now, it still needs to be discovered whether or not we were violating anything there, but from the information I've read so far, we may have been. And he actually thanked me for bringing that to their attention.
Really?
I have FOIA requested
Yes.
some records on that, because it is our understanding, we've heard through a source, that this DMRQA, which is Discharge Monitoring Report Quality Assurance Program,
Right.
is a requirement for our city, because we have a major facility.
Yeah, it's
So
considered.
it is a requirement that we
In our
participate.
NPDES permit,
Yeah.
it says we're supposed to be participating in that.
We're required to
Right,
participate.
right.
And they have been emailing Aaron Tipsword for years.
Okay, so we're supposed to be, but we never have been.
Never have
So
been.
far, we haven't been given any information that shows that we have been.
Yeah.
And it's serious enough that at least this attorney, now he's looking into other things as well with us, but he's adding this to his list. And oh, by the way, this was brought to my attention from a source. That's why I looked into it. And lo and behold, there might be something there as well.
You know, it's funny. We do so much research and we put so much facts out that people see us as the go-to. Well, I know this information, so I'm going to go to Louie, or I'm going to go to Dwayne. You know, we're kind of a lightning rod for this information now, because we have put out so much factual information in the
Right.
And
past.
part of it is people have seen that someone's going to listen to them.
Yeah.
And we can't get to all the issues. There are other issues besides the water issues
Yeah.
that people are coming to us about. And we have taken care of some small things.
Yes, we have.
We'll have a list of that sometime.
Yeah.
Took care of the water meter cover that had not been replaced, had been broken in half for
Telephone
years.
pole.
I took the
For
picture
months.
of the thing,
Telephone
and
pole.
you took care of that.
Yeah, it's all kinds of stuff, but it's things that the mayor should be responsive to. And I don't want the credit. I mean, I don't want the credit. I'm taking care of the issues because people are coming to me. I could just as easily say, call the mayor.
Well, I think
Well, and I have done that, and they're like, we already have, and it didn't get taken care of.
I want you to get some credit, though, because I believe it's April of next year, 2027, you're going to have your name on the ballot for re-election. And I hope the members, the public in living in Ward 2, give you full credit by
Full
checking
credit, right.
the
But-
box next to your
But I
name.
think the point is he's not doing
Thank
it
you.
for credit,
Right.
but it is good that you do get it.
If you want someone on the council that will not respond to your issues, then don't vote for me.
Right.
And maybe there'll be somebody out there that will respond to the issues better than me. Maybe there's people out there that could, but I think I've proven that I will take an interest and that I will respond to the best I can.
You stated when you were chastising the other council members for not taking a meeting with us that you would take a meeting with anyone that wanted to bring information forward. And I've seen it. you've taken meetings with people. You'll talk to anyone, and not all of them are fruitful. But you
And
take
not
a
all
meeting
of
with
them are
anyone.
about things I can do anything about.
Yeah,
Right.
But you take the
Right.
meeting because you need to find out if it is something that you can act on.
There are people within our own group that have talked to me about something that they felt strongly needed to be changed or corrected in a certain way in their view. And I've actually shown them how maybe the way they were looking at it isn't right. You know, maybe something A can't be done, or maybe B, it's already being done correctly.
But you listened.
I listened, and then I explained to them, and I didn't talk down to them. And because I don't like to be talked down to. I don't like to be treated that way.
No.
So, yeah, yes, I plan on running next April. So people in Ward 2, I hope that you do vote for me, because I want to see a council that will be responsive to our community, and we need several people on that council, in my opinion, to be replaced.
I plan on running as well.
Yeah.
Jim Dunn is the other representative in my ward. He indicated to me several months ago that due to his advanced age, he's just shy of 80 years old. Excellent health for an 80-year-old guy. Appears to be in excellent health.
Very good.
But he indicated to me he's not going to run for re-election, and he suggested that I run for his seat. I'm not claiming that that's an endorsement, but I hope I get his endorsement.
Yeah, I hope
Do you have any endorsements you can speak of yet, or would you rather wait?
I'll probably wait on that,
Okay.
but someone in a much higher level than our local has indicated that when I do run, he would be happy to offer his support.
Okay, we'll cover that another time then.
Yeah.
But just for people watching this that live in Lawrenceville, for just a moment, imagine what it would be like to have a city council and a mayor that would be responsive to your concerns, and not always to a point that you're gonna, we're gonna agree with you every time.
Yeah.
Our explanation may be that you happen to be wrong in the way you're thinking. So you've got to be open-minded as well.
Right.
But you won't be shut down. You won't be shut out. You'll be listened to.
Absolutely.
Just imagine what it would be like to have that kind of a
I
city
agree.
council.
Instead of, you're bothering me.
Yes.
I am being bothered by your calls.
Or I
I'm
don't
being
like
bo-
you.
Well,
So-
that too. I don't like you, but I'm just being bothered. I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
A member of the Super Secret Meeting Society said to us
You guys are not
at
gonna give up
one
the
of our
ghost again.
super secret meetings that occur at 5 o'clock on a Sunday evening at your home, that
Go ahead.
that she had approached an alderman who represents her in her ward
Yes.
at Walmart, and that alderman, and I'm not going to disclose the name because I don't want to publicly embarrass anyone.
No.
That alderman indicated that don't approach me about that here in public. You just come to the meetings.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow.
So
Really cares for
Interesting.
his or her people. I don't know who it is anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know.
yeah.
But that's not.
So
That's sad. That's sad.
So many things wrong with that. First of all, just on its face, it's wrong. But second of all, what if that person works nights and can't make it to a Thursday night city
Yeah.
council meeting? What if they have a loved one they have to care for and they can't make it to a council meeting? What if, whatever reason, they can't make it to a council meeting? You should listen to what they have to say
Hey.
outside of the council meeting.
maybe not right there at Walmart.
No.
But set up a time.
Hey, let's step outside. I'd love to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
I really would like to hear what you
Or
have to say.
here's my number. You can get it from City Hall, but here it is.
Yep.
Or give me your number. I'll call you right now and I'll text you.
Yeah.
I've done that before. Now you got my number. Let's talk since we're at Walmart. Not come to a meeting.
Yeah.
But if you remember, the council voted down live streaming the meeting. So I got to thank you for taking, because you take off. You make sure that you're able to get off of your job in time to get here to set up your cameras for those meetings. So for those of you that enjoy and get something out of watching our city council meetings, this is the man to thank for it. I'm not technically savvy enough to do that, and I appreciate what you're doing there.
Yeah, good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So next was Mr. Fritsch. He had nothing to offer. Mr. Goins didn't have a report.
No.
Teresa Green did address the text messages and apologized and gave me an explanation for that, which I accept.
You're saying the text, the ones between her and the mayor,
Correct.
not for the group.
Correct. Ms. Brewer, Dawn Brewer, honestly, I'm sorry, I don't recall what she had to say.
I don't either.
And I'm sorry, I don't recall. Mr. Waldrop had nothing. Mr. Dunn spoke up in support of Teresa, congratulated her for all of her charitable actions and what she does to help the community. He also congratulated the athletes at Lawrenceville,
including the wrestlers,
the basket, and so did Teresa. Teresa did as well.
And so did Brewer.
Yep, that's right. That's
And
right.
the volleyball team.
And the volleyball team. That's right. Thank you. I forgot. We have just a tremendous slate of athletes at Lawrenceville school system this year. That our the girls volleyball team, the 8th grade girls volleyball team, isn't just the sectional champions. They are undefeated.
Oh, they are undefeated.
They are so far undefeated.
Oh, wow.
And they could very easily become state champions undefeated. That's incredible.
That's very incredible.
Very incredible, yeah. So,
wow.
And then the mayor, during his report, he also applauded the basketball team and the other athletic teams and such. And he had suggested that there was a couple events that were going to be happening. There's going to be a block. I don't know if it's a block party or not, but that's the Covenant of Grace Church of God.
Yes.
They're going to have an event coming up soon. That's Pastor Scott Polk.
Yep.
And them, and also on the other end of the courthouse, up on the 12th Street, North 12th Street, Herb Social is going to have a block party coming up sometime soon. So that would be interesting. But there's something
that would be very interesting.
Yeah. But earlier I had invoked my mother, so I want to address something.
Oh,
Right.
yes.
But this is going to be a few minutes story, so let me cover something else that we forgot.
Okay.
So anyway, when I spoke, I did go back to an issue that you have a group that wants to get involved and some other people
Volunteer,
cleaning up the city streets.
Yes.
You asked
And as Mitch said, the park maybe.
the park.
Yeah, the park.
To help
the
them
park
out.
would be city park.
To help them out.
The school, if the school would be okay with us walking their grounds after hours and picking up trash. But there's a group of citizens who want to get together, not on a set schedule, just whenever we can. We haven't done a schedule yet, and walk through town, different areas of town, and pick up trash off the ground. And off of city-owned property.
Yeah.
We won't be going on to private property. So we discussed that. I asked if the city would provide garbage bags and the trash grabbers and buckets and stuff. And I have to get with him. We'll probably do that next week when the weather warms up a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, and I gotta hand it to you. Someone had commented on one of my posts about doing this, and you heard that, and you've been running with it. So you've taken
It happened to
initiative.
be somebody, and I won't mention the name, but it was somebody who was in opposition to a lot of the other stuff we were doing, actually.
Yeah, but it was a great idea to clean up the town.
That's the point. I didn't care who the person was.
No.
I looked at the idea.
No disdain.
It was no disdain.
No disdain.
I could have said, so and so wants to do that. Psh, I don't want to mess with that because they want to do it. No, it was like, okay, we don't agree on everything. We disagreed on some big items.
Yeah.
Happened to be where the sewer plant was going to be at. That was the biggest thing we disagreed on. But they were big supporters. This person brought up was a huge supporter of the mayor. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't even know if I recall their name. I just know that they were a supporter of the mayor. But that should show you that that's how it should be looked at. I don't care who the person was. I looked at the idea.
Big picture, help community.
Yeah.
It was a great idea, and I look forward to participating in that and going out and wearing the vest and picking up trash with the rest of the group.
Yeah,
so.
And I had told you that
Fellowship
Amazing
and
Grace
stuff.
would like to get involved.
Yeah,
it's a great
okay.
thing.
Okay, so that was the other thing I wanted to mention.
Okay.
So back to who you live with.
Yeah, so what happened was there was a comment on a previous video, the video of the city council meeting on YouTube. Someone had created a username specifically, I think, to comment because the time that their their account existed coincides with the time of the comment they left.
Okay.
But what they stated, and I want to read this verbatim because
While you're doing that, I want to say this as well. I don't have an account with YouTube, never have.
we do now.
And it bothered me so much, it irritated me. So I hate to give that person credit for getting under my skin, but I have to admit, it was like, that's just ridiculous. That's the problem with all, that's the root of the problem with not getting things resolved, is the way this person viewed everything we're trying to do, and they zeroed it down to a personal comment, a personal attack on you. So I created my own account, and I didn't use an acronym. I didn't use a code name. My name's on it, and then I responded to it.
So, okay, so the comment from Billy Club is completely hypothetical situation, and I have no idea if this has happened or not. Assumedly, it never has. It's actually a real world word.
But that's the comment that he's making.
Assumedly, it never has. Should a 50-ish-year-old man that lives with his mom be allowed to demand time at a local city council meeting every single time? So I want to address that. First of all, I'm not 50-ish years old. I am 50 years old. I live...
You may look older than that, but yeah. Oh, sorry.
You know you're not going to be welcome to the family anymore.
I agree with that.
Right.
And I hate giving this Billy Club his little few minutes of recognition here, but this is these.
I didn't respond to this because I thought it was funny, and but
you were going to let it go, and I was
going to let it go. Yeah, but I do live with my mom. I have since 2012, actually, so 14 years now.
Yeah, why not? Fine.
Almost 14. It'll be 14 years on July 6th. And I got to tell you that living with my mother,
who's a wonderful human being.
She is a wonderful person. She is.
Yeah.
We help each other a lot. And just because a person may live with someone doesn't mean that they are sponging off of that person.
No.
My mother has gone through a significant life change whenever I had my father prosecuted for a horrendous crime against one of my kids.
Yeah.
He was incarcerated and has since passed away. But my mother lost a good significant portion of the income, and would have, had I not moved in at the time that I did, would have lost her home. And so I help her financially.
Right.
And I got to tell you that whether I live in my mother's home or I buy a $500,000 home of my own, my mother is going to live with me until she is no longer.
Right.
And if that makes me a bad person, then that is a badge I will wear with honor. Because as the Bible says, to honor your mother and father.
Yes, it does.
And your days on this earth will be long.
Yes.
So
Mr. or Mrs. Billy Club, you should be ashamed.
And by the way, the reason why she's such a good woman, she is related to a Bellinger.
She is a Bellinger. Yes, she is a Bellinger. My grandfather was one of the best men I ever knew. Leon Bellinger. Yes, one of the best men that have ever walked face to face.
That was my dad's uncle.
Yeah, great guy. Yeah. My grandpa was. Tell you a story about my grandpa. He was one of his days. When he was still alive. He was talking to me about coming to church, trying to get me to come to church.
Yeah.
He goes, "Son, you got to get saved." I go, "Grandpa," and I was trying to explain to him that I have been. He goes, "Now, there's no excuse that's good enough. I gave every excuse in my life for 61 years.
Yeah.
There's no excuse good enough." I was like, "Well, Grandpa, I have been saved. I was 14 and a half years old." And he goes, "Oh. Well, that's good to hear."
Did he think you weren't by the way you were living, though?
No, he just didn't know.
Oh.
Well,
So,
I'm taking up the Bellinger thing by trying to get him to come to worship. See?
Yeah, I am giving you my word. I am going
So
to.
another Bellinger's turn.
I am going to come and hear you preach because I want to hear you preach. After seeing you speak at the council meeting the other night, I think that you're probably I'm guessing you're a good preacher.
I don't know.
I'm
I just preach the word.
I'm going to come find out for myself.
Yeah, well.
And I'll give
It's all
you.
the eye of the beholder. Yeah.
I'm going to give you an
He'll
honest
tell you whether
review.
you're good or not.
I'm going to
He
bring
will
some.
tell you.
No, he will tell me.
I'm going to bring some rotten tomatoes just in case.
Just in case.
Just in case. So.
Okay, I'll wear a mask.
But anyway, man,
That's just a ridiculous comment.
It is.
Again, that's what's wrong with this kind of thing is someone wants to, instead of critique or debate or discuss the issue, they want to go straight for a personal attack.
Yeah.
That's just stupid.
Well, I want to encourage this person instead of I want to encourage this person to come to one of the city council meetings and get up and take your 5 minutes and do it every month.
And I would encourage them too, but I still say what they did was stupid.
I don't disagree.
There's no way around that.
Yep.
Now they can change that, and they can get involved, and they can make a change of their mind and heart, and they may disagree with some of the stuff that we're doing, but do it based on the merits of the issue, and do it based on how you think and believe on the issue, not about whether or not you live with your mother.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with
Who
it?
gives a rip?
Just, but incidentally,
And put your name on it then if you're going to say it.
Victor
Go ahead.
Fitch, who is older than me.
Oh yeah, and I got nothing negative to say about
He's our
the fact
age,
that
isn't he?
Yeah.
Isn't Victor?
His mother's a wonderful human being.
And he lives with his mother.
Yeah.
He's not a,
So what?
I don't have a problem with that either.
I don't, definitely
That's
don't. Yeah.
that's probably
I
one of
would
the only
never
things
condemn-
that I won't say negative
Yeah.
about the man.
Yeah.
I live
don't- I
with
don't
bats
like
and
him.
raccoons, so what's that make me?
Well, I could give you quite a few suggestions there, but well, anyway, anything else either one of you want to add? No.
He was an honor.
Gavin's brother. I know
Yes,
that you have-
Gavin's brother, yeah.
I know you have a lot to add to every conversation.
No, it's just an honor to be here. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Appreciate you being here. We've been trying to talk to you about coming on podcast for a while, and I'm glad you came on.
You want to talk a little bit about your church and service times?
Well, Amazing Grace on South 15th Street. If you go to Rupel's, you're going too far. Just a little bit.
Traveling from which direction?
On the right side. Well, I mean, if you're going down, if you're going south,
Yeah.
out of luck.
Rupel's is too far.
Rupel's is too far. We start at 9:30. Our worship service starts at 9:30 a.m. and we have Bible study every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Mm-hmm. Really good stuff there. I don't know what else to say about it. We're a good group of people, I guess, and
What kind of music service do you have? And, worship service?
it's just on the screen kind of thing, whatever, we
Do
have
you
a.
play?
Do I play the saxophone there? But I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm playing this Sunday, by the way.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you something. 9:30 in the morning. When I show up at your church at 9:30 in the morning, you need to understand that that's a compliment, because on Sunday mornings, Louie typically doesn't see Sunday mornings.
What time do you go to work?
On Sunday?
No. What time do you go to work during the week?
Well,
What time do you have to be at work?
I'm supposed to be there by 8 a.m. My boss will tell you that by 8:10-ish, Louie rolls through the door.
Okay.
I'm terrible.
So if you
about
can make
that.
it to work at 8:10, you can make it to a worship service at 9:30. Wait, which is 2 houses from your house.
Yeah, I could literally walk out.
He could walk there and get there in 30 seconds.
If it's raining, I could walk there and not get wet along the way.
There you go.
It's that close.
I hear his dogs every day bark.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, my goodness.
I do have a
There's
couple
Louis'
vocal dogs, so. Well, anyway, so anybody wants to watch the most recent recording of the city council meeting, I'm going to put that video right up here. Make sure you check it out. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Thank you for watching this episode of Local Events. And one more thing from Dwayne.
Yeah, the purpose of what we did at that last meeting was not to embarrass people. It was to affect change. That's the purpose.
If we have to use embarrassment as a tool to affect change, I'm willing to do it. Though.
Yeah.
So
I interrupted your sign off. You want to go through all that again?
Well, before you do your sign off, the next meeting of the council meeting is April 9th, 2026.
Thursday, the second. It's
Second.
typically the second Thursday of every month. We changed it this past month because
of the game.
basketball game on
Yeah,
Thursday.
yeah.
And if you're interested in being a part of the cleanup crew where we walk around and pick up trash throughout town, you can get a hold of me or Louie. Your phone number is
yeah, I'll put both of our phone numbers on the screen.
okay. You can get a hold of us for that. If you want to attend these meetings that we have, on Sundays to discuss
These super secret ones?
Super
Okay,
secret,
The
okay.
super secret meetings of
Yeah.
the Super Secret Meeting Society.
Yes, okay, there you go.
Right.
Yeah.
Do contact one
We
of us.
wear
for that, too.
capes.
Keith is usually there.
Yes, he is.
And we have a lot of
We
lot of
have
good
we have
people.
refreshments.
Yeah, we refreshments. Yeah.
We usually do. I was going to bring that up earlier, but I hate to put her on the spot.
She is a wonderful baker.
She'll keep doing it.
Then keep doing it.
She will keep doing
Keep
it.
doing it, Stacy. We love you.
Yes.
She loves.
She knows my
She
favorite.
loves baking and.
Yeah,
She knows my favorite refreshment.
She is wonderful. So anyway,
Yeah.
subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, share this on all your social media. Check out the video in the upper corner for the most recent, and we'll see you on another episode of the Local Lens, Lawrenceville Unfiltered. Till then, peace out.
That was good.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
That was good. I actually knew more than I thought.